I think that the barriers are really our own fear around breaking a system up.
I kind of think that we need to start from scratch.
I think the big block has probably been that commitment to ATAR as being a measure that's useful to determine whether kids should take a particular pathway into university. And I guess my belief now is that it isn't. It's such a narrow definition of what kids can do.
There's a curriculum that's imposed from above, and it's really hard to be innovative, I think, for a lot of people.
In terms of change, we can be very risk averse.
It's been a commitment to an industrial age model that measures people's regurgitation of information rather than any creative exploration of information.
There is a general consensus and a general understanding that we need to shift the way that we are educating students.
The thing that is holding us back is this concept of a standardised test system. And if we can change the assessment, I think everything else changes.
It's got to be about the whole student. It's got to be about more than the academics. It's got to be about the soft skills. It's got to be about looking at what makes us human beings. What is it that makes us resilient, creative thinkers? Because we know that once we get beyond school, it's not about how we can remember academic facts and figures. It's about how we negotiate our way through the world, how we empower ourselves as individuals.
If we're not having to sit kids down to take timed written tests, we deliver the pedagogy in a different way. The curriculum could change.
To engage in learning over a period of time where we don't say, hey, between now and 8 weeks' time in this term you have to do these things. It's between now and 3 years' time we're going to get you towards, letting you free in the real world, and we're going to take a journey to get there however it's going to work for you best.
I think the context now is unknown. And so you have to think about something much more fundamental in terms of what is going to make people of value in their particular context.
People tend to teach the way that they were taught, and we're now in a different scenario where the pace of change is so great that we're kind of getting further and further behind it.
I think it doesn't look like what teachers had, it doesn't look like what parents had. I think any kind of change scares people.
There'll be less structured working spaces and class spaces. There'll be more accommodation of individual preferences and learning styles. And I guess, looking again from the upper level, a more flexible curriculum that will allow for the individual talents and abilities of students.
Let's look at what should be shifted in an admissions process to make this work. So is that thinking a little bit differently around the ATAR? Is that working with individual universities to say, hey, despite this set of data, what are the other things that really we could value, and can we do a true reflection of what the student has done, and will you take the time to look at that?
We've got to lose this baggage of expertise that we have.
If you're not looking to the context in which that learning is taking place as your reference point for what you're teaching and learning, then it really becomes a huge barrier for equipping young people to both be motivated and equipped to be independently useful, and not just that, but to enjoy a sense of purpose as they go out into the wider community.
So you've really got to stop thinking about what do we need to learn in terms of content, but what does that look like in terms of building skills upon skills, and that actually doesn't happen in the classroom. You've got to think outside the classroom also.
So it's reaching out to workplaces, reaching out into community groups, going out and building partnerships with experts in particular areas and saying, let's get our kids into those real world contexts so that they can actually see that their actions are resulting in a difference in the world, and that's what they're going to do post school, so let's give them the experience now.
The definition of a leader is not somebody that tells people what to do, it's a person that creates the environment for that person to thrive in the way that best suits them. That's not an easy task, but a very, very worthwhile one. And I think if, especially in the secondary space, we can enable that, then I think we're on a really great path. We'll create well-rounded, capable, compassionate, globally aware young people who I think are the future.